Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Woodbine Mohawk Park on this Friday, June 25th. Baby race action continues, a 14-race session coming up, all for 2-year-old colts and geldings. Trotters and pacers will be in action here today. Mark McKelvey with you, set to take you through today's action. We'll pass along changes and the fields as the morning goes along. 14 qualifiers as mentioned, which means there'll be a break after the 7th. Break of around half an hour to 40 minutes, and then we'll resume with the back half. If you're watching along today on our website, woodbinemohawkpark.com, head over to the Horse People section, which you can find under the Racing tab. Once you're on that page, you can scroll down, and on the left side, you will find the heading Qualifiers. Under there, all the program pages for each day of qualifiers. You can download the past performances and just follow along with the rookies that we'll have in action here this morning. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to leave us a comment and let us know where you're watching from. As well, COSA TV here this morning, providing enhanced coverage of today's qualifiers. You can tune into that by going to youtube.com/COSA TV, or on Facebook, look up the Central Ontario Standardbred Association. Greg Blanchard, Robert Reed Jr., and myself to take you through that action on COSA TV. So horses are on the track for the first qualifier, and they'll head to the back stretch and be called into the gate in a couple of minutes. The starting gate begins to make its way up the Woodbine Mohawk Park backstretch as these rookie trotters have been called in. We're going to scratch number 3, Master Production here. Brings us down to a field of 6. No other changes. Let's meet the field, as we'll do all morning long. Number 1, Beyond the Storm, a Cadabra colt, owned by Stephen Palermo, trained by Steve Bossens. Sylvan Filion will drive, a $12,000 Harrisburg purchase. Number 2 is Feel the Force, Gelded Son of Resolve, owned by Steve Heimbecker, Van Camp Trotting Corporation. Blake McIntosh the trainer. James McDonald's in the sulky. This was a $22,000 Lexington buy. 3 is Scratch, 4 is Royal Champagne, a Royalty for Life colt, owned by Glengate Farms and Ben Bayerjean. Ben Bayerjean the trainer, Mario Bayerjean your driver, $19,000 Ontario Select purchase. 5 is Kilimanjaro, a Prestidigitator colt, owned by Bloomingwood Farms Limited, also the breeders. Greg McNair, your trainer. Doug McNair will drive. 6, Give Me Carrots K, is an Encore colt, owned by Winning Key Incorporated. Paul Reed trains, Scott Young drives. And the 7 is Living on the Rail, a muscle mass colt, owned by Steve Heimbecker, Paul Kelly, Aaron Byron, your trainer driver, a $30,000 Harrisburg buy. So the starting gate's in motion. Sitting in the low 20s, the temperature here for qualifiers. Track is fast. Wind likely won't be too much of a factor here early on. Number 1, Beyond the Storm, in the debut is well back. The other 5 are up on the gate. And they're off and trotting in the Friday morning opener. And a couple of them flashing early speed from the center. Kilimanjaro shaking that head a little bit, but is going to stride out to the top. Feel the Force at the inside, 2nd, and then 3rd is Give Me Carrots K. Living on the Rail will move over to the rail. Then it's back to Royal Champagne and well back to Beyond the Storm as they go into the first turn. Couple of lengths up front here for Kilimanjaro and Doug McNair. Opening panel, 30-1. So the trotters move into the backstretch, and they are following the son of Prestidigitator. This is Kilimanjaro, made a break before the start in his qualifying debut back on June 19th. He leads this one by about 4 lengths as they go by 3/8. Field of Force is in second. Then Give Me Carrots K in third. Living on the Rail is fourth. Back to Royal Champagne. And pulling up was Beyond the Storm. And he'll try it again on another day. They approach the half, and Kilimanjaro takes them past the midway point in 101 and 1. The lead shrinks a little bit, down to a couple of lengths for Kilimanjaro. Field of Force is in second. Then it's a break of 5, back to Give Me Carrots K in third. Living on the Rail is fourth, and fifth is Royal Champagne. Rookie trotters go by 5/8, and the leader continues to be Kilimanjaro. The homebred for Bloomingwood Farms Limited leads it by almost 3. Field of Force, the gelded son of Resolve. Tries to inch in a little closer. Give Me Carrots K has picked it up there in third. 131 for 3/4, so they ramped it up. 29 and 4. They're into the stretch. Kilimanjaro drifts out a little bit. Give Me Carrots K will try to step around on the far outside and looking to come up. A wide open rail is Field of Force. Living on the Rail back there in fourth. Kilimanjaro still with the lead. Off stride went Give Me Carrots K. Up the inside, Field of Force. Kilimanjaro out in the center of the track still holds the advantage. Coming to the line, Kilimanjaro wins it. Field of Force was second. Living on the Rail was third. Off stride, Give Me Carrots K. And then Royal Champagne was fifth. 201 and 1 for Kilimanjaro. Starting gate now moving. Here we go for the second qualifier, staying on the trot. Scratch number 5, Conflict Resolution. Number 1 is C-Can, a gelded son of Muscle Mass, owned by Mark Etzel, Terry DeVos, Peter Porter. Mark Etzel, trainer. Bob McClure will do the driving. The 2 is Kipper Whippersnipper, Royalty for Life colt, owned and bred by Edward Wilson. Rob Fellows trains. Louis Waugh will drive. 3, Arch Ruler, is an Archangel colt, owned by Ben Bayerjean, Rick Hines, Santo Vena, and Nunzio Vena. Ben Bayerjean trains. Sylvain Filion steers. A $42,000 Lexington Select Yearling sale purchase. Number 4 is Twinbee Archie, a gelded son Archangel, owned by Scott McEnany, Dominic Shiravelli, Floyd Marshall, and Mart West Racing Stable. McEnany trains. James McDonald drives. A $52,000 Harrisburg buy. 5 is out, so moving in a spot is number 6, Evil Guy, an Il Sogno Dream colt, owned and bred by Bill Maines and Bill Cripps. Gerald Lilly trains. Phil Houdon drives. And number 7 is American Blizz K. This is an Angus Hall colt, owned by Winning Key, trained by Paul Reed, and Scott Young is the driver. So we scratch the 5 Conflict Resolution, brings us down to a field of 6 for qualifier number 2. 2-year-old colt and gelding trotters assembled behind the starting gate, which approaches the top of the stretch. Starting gate picking up speed, and here they come. And they're off and trotting. Arch Rule splits from the center for Filion and strides out to the early lead. Next door neighbor Kipper Whippersnipper crosses over in front of the rail starter C-Can. So that's your 1, 2, 3 in the opening 8th. Settling in 4th, Twinbee Archie takes to the pylons. And Evil Guy and American Blizz K will do just that as everybody gets situated as they drive into the first turn. Arch Ruler is your leader, debut qualifier for this son of Archangel, and he's on the point, leading it by a length and a half. Kipper Whippersnipper in second, then third is C-Can. They come to the opening quarter, which was trotted in 31 and 2. Onto the backstretch, the rookie trotters will go, all in their best behavior as this 6-pack swings into the backside, and we have some movement. Circling around to the top goes Kipper Whippersnipper for Louis-Philippe Waugh, and this Royalty for Life colt was ready to move on, and he is trotting there with some good-looking strides as 3/8 of the mile is now complete. Arch Ruler in second as they get a bit of separation on C-Can, who is back there in third, followed by Twinbee Archie in fourth. Evil Guy's fifth, and American Blizz K is your trailer 6. Off stride in third went C-Can here just before the half, so C-Can off stride for McClure taken to the center of the racetrack. The half was 1:02 and 2, so that was 31 seconds in the second quarter. A tad bit quicker there, as leapfrogging to the top was Kipper Whippersnipper, and Kipper Whippersnipper now opens up 4 lengths on Arch Ruler as they go by 5/8. Back in third is Twinbee Archie. 5 lengths then back to Evil Guy, who's followed by American Blizz K, and resetting is C-Can, who is 6 and about 15 from the top, as Kipper Whippersnipper took off here in the third quarter and leads them there in 1:32 and 1. A 29 and 4 third split into the stretch, and it's Kipper Whippersnipper on top by almost double digits. Arch Ruler back in second. Twinbee Archie in his debut qualifier will look to pass a rival as they come into the final 8th, but it is all Kipper Whippersnipper, the Royalty for Life colt, ready to rock here today, his second qualifier. This will be a winning one, and he'll take it by over a dozen lengths as he comes home looking impressive here for Louis Waugh. Kipper Whippersnipper wins it. Finishing second was Twinbee Archie. Third was Arch Ruler. Then it was American Blizz K over C-Can and Evil Guy 6. 2 minutes and 3/5, so 28 and 2 final quarter for Kipper Whippersnipper. Qualifier number 3, 2-year-old pacing Colts and Geldings moving behind the starting gate. 1 driver change. Doug McNair will drive number 2, Sports Teller. Here's your field. 1 is Many Moons, a Sweet Lou colt owned by Mac Nickel, Robert Jones. Anthony Beaton trains. Sylvan Filion drives. $55,000 Harrisburg buy. 2 is Sports Teller, a gelded son of Sports Writer. Owned and bred by Troy Mark. Shares ownership with Kimberly Mark. Jack Beliveau trains. Doug McNair will steer. 3 is Mr. Dress Up, gelded son of Shadow Play. Owned by the Bob McIntosh Stables, Al McIntosh Holdings, and Beverly Snobelin. Trained by Bob McIntosh. Trevor Henry drives. 4 is Team Mac, a gelded son of Better's Delight. Hut Racing Stable, Steve Heimbecker and Blake McIntosh share ownership. Blake McIntosh trains. Phil Houdon will steer. A $72,000 Lexington Select grad. 5 is Stonebridge Helios, a Sunshine Beach colt owned by John Fleischman. Trained by John Pentland. Bob McClure will drive. $25,000 London yearling sale purchase. 6 is Leave in Bruises, a Believe in Bruiser colt owned by Courtney Bishop and Leo Fleming, trained by Gary Bishop. Jody Jameson drives. 7, He Be Sunny, gelded son of Sunshine Beach, Francis Dumichel, Acurie CSL, Travis Henry, and OAS 2021 share ownership. Dumichel, the trainer. James McDonald drives. $24,000 Ontario purchase. And 8 is Delicate Sound, gelded son of State Treasure, owned by Earl Harvey. Pierre Demers is your trainer. Louis-Philippe Waugh drives. So they're off and pacing here in the 3rd qualifier, and we'll give our first call to Team Mac and Phil Houdon as they step out to the early lead. He Be Sunny is forwardly placed by James McDonald, and splitting through the center, Stonebridge Helios and Bob McClure are going to try and get control. At the inside, Many Moons got away in 4th. Leaving Bruises will have a spot to drop in front of Mr. Dress Up. Caught on the outside, Delicate Sound, and Sports Teller is your early trailer. They go into the first turn, and He Be Sunny isn't going to get a spot on the rail because he wants to move on now to the lead. So He Be Sunny and James McDonald will just power on up, and they will clear to the top as they straighten out into the backstretch. Stonebridge Helios will now land himself a 2-hole ride. Racing in 3rd is Team Mac, and out from 4th comes Many Moons for Sylvan Filion, and then back in 5th we've got Leavin' Bruises. 3 lengths then to Mr. Dress Up, who is racing there in 6th. 7th up the backside, Delicate Sound, and Sports Teller is your trailer. Many Moons here in the 2nd quarter is making the march up to the top, and Many Moons will now clear to command just after a half-mile clocking of 59.3. On to the final turn they'll go, and Many Moons is now your new leader. 3rd leader we've had here, and there's 5/8 of the mile now complete. Many Moons by a length and a half. He Be Sunny right on that one's back. Then 3rd is Stonebridge Helios. Racing in 4th is Team Mac, followed 5th by Leavin' Bruises. 6th is Mr. Dress Up. Then 7th, the Delicate Sound, and Sports Teller is 8th. They head to 3 quarters. The Sweet Lou colt, Many Moons, races past the 3rd marker in 1:28 flat, so they spin for home. Many Moons on top. He Be Sunny back there 2nd. Stonebridge Helios is 3rd. On the outside, Leavin' Bruises trying to get up into 4th from Team Mac, 5th. 1/8 of a mile to go. Here's He Be Sunny trying to power on by, taking his shot at Many Moons, who looks to dig in. Stonebridge Helios is going to make it a 3 across finish. In the center, He Be Sunny gets the short advantage late. He Be Sunny to take it. Stonebridge Helios finishing up good there 2nd. Many Moons settles for 3rd. 4th was Leavin' Bruises. 1:55.3 for He Be Sunny. 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings here for the 4th qualifier. No changes, field of 8. Number 1, Bring Your Fire, is a Better's Delight colt. Owned and bred by Jacob Nixon. Trained by Dean Nixon. Scott Coulter drives. The 2 is Dream Fair Arnie B, a sports writer colt. Owned and bred by John Lamers. Bobby Joe Weinhold Harris is your trainer. Nick Boyd your driver. 3 is Aiden James, a sports writer colt. Owned by Ariel Harvey A. Feast. $17,000 Ontario purchase. Gerard Demers your trainer. Louis Philippe Waugh drives. 4 is All a Boil. Gelded Son of Better's Delight, owned by Coyote Wind Farms. Trained by Clark Bealby. Robert Shepard drives. $20,000 Harrisburg buy. 5 is Lions Lou, a Sweet Lou colt, owned by 3 Lions Racing. Trained by Tony Beaton. Sylvain Filion in the sulky. $25,000 Harrisburg purchase. 6 is Getting Into It, sports writer colt, owned by Daniel Plouffe, Blake McIntosh, Jean-Christophe Plouffe, and Michael Lindley. Blake McIntosh trains. Jody Jameson drives. $47,000 Lexington buy. 7 is Signing Bonus. Greg McNair, Jim Newton, Blooming Wood Farms Limited, and Paul Kidd are your owners. Greg McNair trains. Doug McNair drives this Shadow Play colt. And 8 is Athens Sealster, a gelded son of Thinking Out Loud, owned by the Bob McIntosh Stables, Al McIntosh Holdings, Dr. David Fisher, and Ian Fisher. Bob McIntosh trains. Trevor Henry drives. $24,000 London yearling sale purchase. Putting in a few steps there was number 6, Getting Into It. Recovers, though, and they're on gate picking up speed. And they're off in pacing here in the 4th qualifier in Lions. Lou shoots from the center. Dream Fair Arnie B towards the inside, and Getting Into It is going to get right into the mix. On the outside, Signing Bonus, and then getting to the pylons will be All a Boil there in 5th. Settles in front of the rail starter, Bring Your Fire, who gets away 6th. 7th is Aiden James, and your trailer is Athens Sealster. Into the first turn they go. A couple of them caught on the outside. The leader by a length and a half is Lions Lou. Getting Into It could probably drop into the deuce, and will do just that. The opening quarter was 28-4, fastest opening quarter of the morning. And into the backstretch, it is Lions Lou, a son of Sweet Lou, leading it by a length and a half. Getting Into It settles there second. Third is Dream Fair Arnie B. Signing Bonus had a big 4-hole to drop into. Then back 5th is All a Boil. 6th is Bring Your Fire. 7th up the backside, Aiden James, and Athens Sealster can see them all. Field of 8 goes up the backside, and they are following Lions Lou, a $25,000 Harrisburg purchase, leading it by a length and a half past the midway point in 58 seconds flat. 29-1 in the second quarter off a 28-4 opener, then 29-1. And as they go into the final turn, the lead begins to grow here for Lions Lou as Sylvain Filion lets them ramp it up a bit. 5/8 of the mile now complete. Getting Into It is in second. Dream Fair Arnie B is in third, about 5 or 6 lengths back to Signing Bonus in fourth, followed by All a Boil, Bring Your Fire, Aiden James, and Athens Sealster. 3/4 is hitting 126. 28 seconds in the third quarter. Lions Lou rolling right along, swings them into the lane, leading it by 3.5. Back in second is Getting Into It on the outside. Dream Fair Arnie B is now moved into second. 1/8 of a mile remaining. Signing Bonus back in fourth. Bring Your Fire trying to pass him. 16th to go. It's still Lions Lou your leader. Lions Lou over Dream Fair Arnie B. Lions Lou will take it. A good looking performance here today, stopping the clock in 1:53-4. Second was Dream Fair Arnie B. Tight for third between Getting Into It and Bring Your Fire. Lions Lou 1:53-4, 27-4 home. Fifth baby race of the morning, 2-year-old Payson Colts and Gelding. Scratch number 2, Roll at the Flow. 1 is Azure Beach, Sunshine Beach Colt, owned by Patrick Dillon, trained by Rob Fellows, Louis Waugh drives. 2 is Out, 3 is Lions Pride, a Better to Like Colt, owned by 3 Lions Racing, trained by Tony Beaton, Sylvan Filion between the wheels, $30,000 Lexington Select purchase. 4 is West is Best, a Sunshine Beach Colt, owned by the Bob McIntosh Stables, CSX Stables, and Al McIntosh Holdings. Bob McIntosh trains, Trevor Henry, your reinsman. 5 is Striking Impact, and Always Be Mickey Colt, owned by Aaron Waxman, Santo Vena, and Fox Racing, trained by Dwayne Marfisi. Doug McNair drive, $50,000 Lexington Select purchase. 6, He's Really Keen. This is Gelded Son of Sweet Lou, owned by Maneri Guerrero, Thomas Dillon, Scott Dillon, and PBG Stables, trained by Dave Maneri, Jody Jameson, the driver. This is a $55,000 standardbred horse sale purchase. 7 is EL Gladiator, Up the Credit Colt, owned by James Edward Lewis, also the breeder. Adrian Hickey, your trainer. Aaron Byron will drive. And number 8 is Colby Two-Step, a Better Than Cheddar Colt, owned by Tim Gillespie and Jason Churchill. Tim Gillespie trains. Bob McClure will drive, a $12,000 Ontario Select purchase. Starting gate swings into the stretch. Scratching number 2, Roll with the Flow. Field of 7, picking up speed, and here they come. And they're off and pacing, and Colby Two-Step charges out to the early lead from the outside. Getting away in second is Lions Pride. In the center, that is West is Best. On the outside, He's Really Keen. Striking Impact unhurried in the early going, gets away in 5th. 6 is Azure Beach, and your early trailers EL Gladiator. They're going into the first turn, and Colby Two-Step is up front here for McClure. Racing in second is West is Best, then third is Lions Pride. Settling fourth, He's Really Keen. The opening quarter, 28-3. Onto the backstretch they'll go, and it's Colby Two-Step, your leader, leading it by a couple of lengths. West is Best is racing second. Lions Pride is third. Right behind that rival is He's Really Keen. Break it 2 then to Striking Impact racing 5th. 6 is Azure Beach, and the trailer 7th is EL Gladiator. Single file as they go up the backstretch, and they're approaching the half. And Colby Two-Step is going to bring them to the midway point here, leading it by almost 2 lengths. So Colby Two-Step off a 28-3 opener is past the half in 59-2. 30-4 in the second quarter. On to the final turn they go. West is Best is in second. Lions Pride in third. Fourth is He's Really Keen. On the outside now, advancing a few spots, EL Gladiator. Inside, Striking Impact. And on the outside is Azure Beach. They're heading towards 3 quarters. Colby Two-Step still leading it by a pair. West is Best in second. Big move here from EL Gladiator. This one is all the way up now into second with that big third quarter move. Slipping off the cones was Lions Pride from in fourth in front of Azure Beach. 3 quarters, 129-1. They turn for home. Colby Two-Step at the inside, looking to fight off EL Gladiator. Lions Pride in third. West is Best in behind. 1/8 of a mile remaining. Colby Two-Step still with the lead. And Colby Two-Step able to turn away EL Gladiator. And Colby Two-Step will go coast to coast and dances to victory here this morning. It's Colby Two-Step finishing in second. Was EL Gladiator tight for third. Looked like Lions Pride maybe over West is Best. 157 flat for Colby Two-Step. Qualifier number 6 here. We're going to scratch number 4, Arrow Magic. Doug McNair will drive number 2, Free on the Beach. One Still Thirsty, a Thinking Out Loud colt, owned by Bob McIntosh Stables, CSX Stables. McIntosh trains, Trevor Henry drives. 2 is Free on the Beach, a Sunshine Beach colt, owned by Bruce Somers, Robert McMillan, trained by Rob Fellows. Doug McNair will drive. 3 is Tall and Tan Blue Chip. Bob McClure drives for trainer Luke Blay and owner Determination, a gelded son of Better's Delight, $100,000 yearling buy. 4 is out. 5 is Up the Creek, a gelded son of Better's Delight, Maneri Racing, Michael Guerrero, Alan Albert, and George Harrison, your owners. Dave Maneri trains, Jody Jameson drives, a $13,000 yearling buy. 6 is On Top Rain Man. He's watching colt, owned by Chris Nickel, trained by Walter Whalen, Michael Whalen steers. 7 is Lions Valiant, a Lions Somewhere colt, owned by 3 Lions Racing, trained by Tony Beaton, Sylvan Filion in the bike. And number 8 is 6 and 6, a gelded son of American Ideal, owned by the Mortgage Boys stable, Gary Volpe, Peter Barbado, and Blake McIntosh. McIntosh trains, James McDonald drives, $30,000 yearling purchase. Gate picking up speed, and here they come. Lions Valiant was the pacer a few lengths back. So they're set on their way, and Up the Creek comes away from the center, stepping out to the early lead. Free on the Beach to get away in second. They're 6 and 6 on the outside. Will likely drop in third in front of Still Thirsty fourth. On the outside, On Top, Rain Man gets away fifth. 6 is Tall and Tan Blue Chip, and your early trailer. 7th is Lions Valiant. Will be right there with them despite some sluggish beginning. On to the first turn they go, and it's Up the Creek by a couple of lengths. Up the Creek past the opening quarter in 31 seconds. So not a lot of early speed here as the rookie pacers move into the backstretch. Up the Creek, qualifying for the second time, was a winner back on June 19th, doing it all on the front. 158 and 4 on that morning, leads it by a couple of lengths. Free on the Beach is racing in second. Third is 6 in 6. Then back there in fourth, that is Still Thirsty. Racing in fifth is On Top Rainman. We had a breaker in the second quarter, that being Tall and Tan Blue Chip. And then we go to Lions Valiant. They are coming up towards the half, and that half mile was recorded in 1:01 and 3. So that was actually quicker than the opening quarter. That was 30 and 3. And Up the Creek might just leave his rivals behind here. He gets separation of a half dozen lengths. Back in second, Free on the Beach. Third is 6 and 6. Now moving to the outside, Still Thirsty. On Top, Rain Man will follow that path, Lions Valiant. And then we go to Tall and Tan Blue Chip. Up the Creek is way up the creek here as he leads this one by 7 lengths, turning for home, 1:30 and 3. So that was a third quarter of 29 seconds. And Up the Creek, the gelded son of Better's Delight, will look to close this one out strong. Back in second is Still Thirsty. On Top, Rainman has moved into third and will try to come up the inside on Still Thirsty. Back in fourth is Free on the Beach, but this was all Up the Creek, and they weren't going to find him here as he wins this one, charging home to stop the clock in 157 and 4, a 27 and 1 kicker for Up the Creek. 7th baby race, final baby race of our first half here today. Scratch number 2, Affair Somewhere. Number 1 is HP Momentum. Gelded Sun and Control the Moment, owned by Claude Mel, Gestion A.A. Belanger, and Jean Tourney. Jean Tourney, the trainer, Sylvain Filion drives. 2 is out. 3 is Nassau Hanover, a sports rider colt owned by John Pentland, Peter Charlton, and Archie Leach, trained by John Pentland. Bob McClure drives, $25,000 yearling purchase. 4 is Magical Arthur, an Art Speak colt, owned and bred by David Lumsden. Tony Beaton trains Scott Young steers. 5 is Rainbow Nation, a sports rider colt owned by 1187422 Ontario Inc. They're also the breeders. Jason Ryan trains and drives. 6 is Beacon Sealster, a sports rider colt owned by Bill Donovan, Louis-Philippe Waugh, Purnell, and Libby, trained by Eric Nadeau. Louis Waugh drives, $82,000 yearling purchase. 7 is See Me Shine, a Sunshine Beach colt owned by the Bob McIntosh Stables, CSX Stables, and Al McIntosh Holdings. Bob McIntosh trains Trevor Henry will steer. And number 8 is Sports Fan, a sports rider colt owned and bred by Leanne Murphy. Stuart McIntosh shares ownership. Blake McIntosh trains, and James McDonald is your driver. Starting 8 swings into the stretch. Off stride is number 7, See Me Shine. And they're off and pacing. Nassau Hanover towards the inside, hustles out of there. Looks like Magical Arthur will drop in behind in second. Beacon Sealster quickly cuts over to the pylons to get in front of HP Momentum fourth. Then it was Rainbow Nation, followed by Sports Fan, and See Me Shine after that break will be the trailer. They're going into the first turn. Nassau Hanover is the leader. Magical Arthur will sit there in second, about a length and 3/4 off the lead as they go through an opening panel of 30-1. They'll move up into the backstretch, and your leader is Nassau Hanover. Racing second, Magical Arthur. Couple of lengths going back to Beacon Sealster in third. Then about 2.5 to HP Momentum. Racing in fifth is Rainbow Nation, followed by Sports Fan and See Me Shine. And now we have got a move at the front as Magical Arthur comes around for Scott Young and will take over the lead from Nassau Hanover, racing past the half in 59-1. So they were moving right along there in the second quarter as the race was clocked there in 29 seconds. A tad bit quicker for your new leader, Magical Arthur, who is just charging along around the final turn, leading it by nearly 4. Nassau Hanover in second. Third continues to be the debuting Beacon Sealster. Then we go a half dozen lengths back to HP Momentum. Rainbow Nation moves to the outside. Sports Fan will follow, and See Me Shine is in seventh. 3/4 time, 1:27-1. So that was a 28-second third split there for Magical Arthur, and he'll try to complete the trick here as he leads it by about 4 lengths. Back in second is Nassau Hanover. Beacon Sealster is in third. Then we go well back to the rest, less than 1/8 of a mile to go, and Magical Arthur looks good on the lead here. It'll be Magical Arthur to close this one out. He'll win it, and he'll take this one by about 4.5 at the line. Nassau Hanover was second. Third went to Beacon Sealster. Then it was Sports Fan up into fourth, followed by HP Momentum, Rainbow Nation, and See Me Shine. 1:55-4 for Magical Arthur. With the conclusion of qualifier number 7, we will now take an intermission. Qualifiers to resume around 11:10 a.m. Here we go for the 8th qualifier, 2-year-old Colton Gelding Trotter, scratch number 6, Juania. Number 1, the Champ, Ryan Holiday for trainer Dave Holiday, owned by Caroline Holiday. Archangel Colt. 2 is Duly Resolved. Resolved Colt, owned by Back Stable, David Hudson, Don Allenson, and Gaelic Stable. John Bax trains, Paul McDonnell drives, $30,000 Lexington buy. 3 is St. Eves, and Archangel Colt, owned by Yolanda Fellows, Blair Corbeil, and Trojan Horse. Rob Fellows trains, Trevor Henry will drive, a $12,000 Harrisburg purchase. 4 is Delgado, a Trixton Gelding, owned by Bob Young, who also trains. He shares ownership with Russell Pickup. Scott Young will drive, $25,000 Lexington buy. 5 is DeChambeau, a gelded son of Cadavra, owned by Gary Lance, Paul Reed, BC Reichelt Stables, and Tony Casha. Paul Reed trains and drives, a $30,000 Harrisburg buy. 6 is out, and 7 is Real Cool Moves, a Cadavra colt owned by Lake Curie Gold, trained by Gerard Demers. Louis Waugh drives, $7,000 Ontario Select purchase. Starting 8 swings into the stretch. Trotters are picking up speed, and here they come. And they're off and trotting. Duly Resolved is off to a nice beginning. So too is St. Eves. Then also from the center is Delgado. So 2, 3, and 4 on the gate. And that's how they'll stride out now. 1, 2, 3. On the outside, Real Cool Moves. From the inside, the Champ. And then DeChambeau. And to the first turn they will go. And it'll be Duly Resolved out to the front. St. Eves is in second. Delgado to settle in third. Off stride at the back went DeChambeau, making a miscue. To the opening quarter, and another breaker. Off stride went Real Cool Move. So a couple of breakers before the opening quarter, which was trotted in 30 and 3. Into the back stretch, and it's a loose lead here of 4 lengths for Duly Resolved. In second is St. Eves. Now going around that rival will be Delgado, who is followed by the Champ. Going back then to DeChambeau and the other breaker, Real Cool Moves. So Duly Resolved, just doing this all by himself, a $30,000 Lexington Select purchase. The Son of Resolve and Paul McDonnell are leading it. Racing in second is Delgado, coming up to the midway point, which is reached in 1 minute and 2/5. On to the final turn. It is Duly Resolved, leading it by 3. Delgado in second, a couple of lengths back to St. Eves in third. Fourth is the Champ. Then we go back probably about a dozen lengths to DeChambeau and well back to Real Cool Moves. Duly Resolved and Paul McDonnell have been showing the way. They approach the third marker. The lead is a little over a length and a half as Delgado inches a little closer. That Trixton Gelding ready for the stretch drive. 1:30 and 4 for 3/4 into the stretch off a 30 and 2/3 panel. Your leader continues to be Duly Resolved. Second is Delgado. Back in third, St. Eves. Widest of them all, the Champ. Less than 1/8 of a mile to go. Duly Resolved got down to business here today and is going to take it. Delgado will finish about a length and 3/4 back there in second. Third goes to the Champ, and fourth was St. Eves. 2 minutes flat for Duly Resolved. Here we go for the 9th baby race. 2-year-old Colton Gelding Trotters. Add trotting hobbles to number 3, Don Corleone. 1, Marauder Sealster, a muscle mass colt, trained by Amanda Fine. Louis Waugh drives, $55,000 yearling buy. This one's owned by Steve Heimbecker. 2 is Guinness, a muscle mass colt, back stable, the Cavalier stable, going to the show stable, and Ken Bax are the owners. John Bax trains, Matt Bax drives, $22,000 yearling purchase. 3 is Don Corleone, a muscle mass colt, bred, owned, and trained by Ron McDonald. Brett McDonald drives. 4 is Archery Sealster, a wheeling and dealing colt owned by Justin Mastel and Marcel Berrio. Berrio trains and drives, an $85,000 yearling purchase. 5 is King Cactus, a creatine colt. Karen Olsen Burgess, Linnea Lindstrom, and James Walker are the owners. Blair Burgess trains and drives, a $40,000 yearling buy. 6 is Marvin Hagler, a craze colt owned by Mary Pedden and Mark McQuarrie. Mark McQuarrie trains. Sylvan Filion drives, $13,000 yearling purchase. And 7, 3 Finger Pour, a muscle mass colt. Leo Fleming, Bill Main, Stephen Papillon, and Bill Cripps are your owners. Leo Fleming trains. Phil Houdon drives, $15,000 yearling purchase. Trotters for the 9th qualifier. Starting gate swings into the stretch. Wind is picked up a little bit here this morning at Woodbine Mohawk Park. Here they come for the 9th. And they're off and trotting. Guinness steps out from the inside, from the center. There goes Marvin Hagler firing the first blow. On the outside between horses, Archery Sealster. Getting away 4th is Marauder Sealster. Then it'll be 3 Finger Pour looking to settle in 5th in front of Don Corleone. And your trailer is King Cactus. Into the first turn they go. Filion being careful here with Marvin Hagler. He made a miscue last week in the early going. This time, though, he's trotting well to the opening panel. He'll be the leader, but not for long. Archery Sealster will come around. 31-3 was the opening quarter. So Archery Sealster will clear his lead to be short-lived, as here is Marauder Sealster for Louis Waugh, who will trot right on to the top. So it'll be Marauder Sealster to take command with 3/8 of the mile now complete. Racing in 2nd is Archery Sealster. 3rd is Marvin Hagler. Trotting 4th is Guinness, followed 5th by 3 Finger Pour. And then your trailer 6th, that is King Cactus. One more back there, as Don Corleone is your trailer. They're approaching the midway point, and Marauder Sealster goes past the half in 102-4. On to the final turn. It's a couple of lengths here for Marauder Sealster in front of Archery Sealster. 2 lengths then back to Marvin Hagler 3rd. About that same margin to Guinness. Another couple back to 3 Finger Pour, King Cactus, and Don Corleone your trailer. So here's Marauder Sealster. 2nd qualifier for this son of muscle mass. Finished 4th in his debut, was 4th throughout the entire mile. They change it up this time around. He's on the front, and he's past 3/4 in 1:33. So turning for a home. And Marauder Sealster will try to outsprint his rivals. He's got the jump on them of a few lengths. Archery Sealster in 2nd. On the outside is Marvin Hagler. 3 Finger Pour trying to get up into 4th over Guinness. Then we go back to King Cactus and Don Corleone, your trailer. 16th of a mile remaining. It is Marauder Sealster and Waugh with the lead. Marvin Hagler's going to get a little closer, but will come up about a length short. At the line, it was Marauder Sealster. Over Marvin Hagler, Archery Sealster, then 3 Finger Pour, Guinness, King Cactus, and Don Corleone. 2:01-4, 28-4 final quarter for Marauder Sealster. Here we go for the 10th baby race. Scratching number 7, PC Double Down. Number 1 is Angels Express, an Archangel gelding. June Duran owns. Tom Duran trains and drives. $23,000 yearling. 2, Forest, is a muscle mass colt owned by 2790884 Ontario Inc. Trained by Ken Susi. Paul McDonnell drives. $12,000 yearling purchase. 3 is Unresolved Debt, a gelded son of Resolve. Bax stable. Marshall Bax are your owners. John Bax trains. Matt Bax drives. 4, Down the Fence, is a Royalty for Life colt owned by Dustin Jones Stables. Also the breeders, Dustin Jones will train and drive. 5 is Flashpoint, a Royalty for Life colt owned by Bill Donovan, Purnell, and Libby, trained by Meg Crone. Louis Waugh drives, $52,000 yearling purchase. And 6 is Luca Hanover, a Resolve colt owned by Francis Dumichel, Acurie CSL, OAS 2021, and 917479998 Quebec Incorporated. Francis Dumichel trains. James McDonald drives, a $45,000 yearling purchase. Scratch number 7, PC Double Down. Half dozen of them on the gate. 2-year-old colt and gelding trotters for the 10th. Starting gate to the top of the stretch. A field of 6 on gate for the 10th. Picking up speed, and here they come. And they're off and trotting. Off to a very even beginning with the quickest away from post 1 out to spot number 1. That is Angels Express. And in the debut for this gelding, he steps out to the early command. Here's Luca Hanover on the outside, trotting up well. He'll be able to settle in second in front of Forrest in third. Down the fence, will get over to the fence in fourth. And then racing fifth, that is Unresolved Debt. Your early trailer is Flashpoint. To the opening quarter, it's a length and a half advantage for Angels Express. 30-1 was the opener. On to the backstretch they'll go. The debuting Angels Express leads it by a length and a half. Luca Hanover in his second qualifier races right there in the 2-hole, right on the leader's back. Tightly grouped as well is Forrest, as down the fence, Unresolved Debt, and your trailer Flashpoint. So they're all really right there, pretty much. Almost nose to helmet as it gets for a baby race coming to the midway point. Angels Express approaching the half, and the half's going to be recorded here in 102-4. So they were back down there in that second quarter off a 30-1 opener. They went 32-3 in the second quarter. It is Angels Express leading it, a $23,000 yearling purchase. Here's Angels Express and trainer driver Tom Duran leading it 5/8 of the mile now in the books. Luca Hanover in second. Now from third, McDonnell gives his cue to Forrest, and Forrest is coming quickly, attacking on the outside. Down the fence is fourth. Then we go to Unresolved Debt and Flashpoint. Angels Express has some company up to the wheel and trying to get to the saddle cloth. That is Forrest, and Forrest now draws up on even terms. 133-2 for 3/4. The sprint is on as they head down the stretch. Forrest on the outside trying to muscle on by Angels Express, who digs in and is putting up a game fight. Now looking to come up the inside is Luca Hanover to try and pick off those two rivals. Angels Express won't give way. Forrest on the outside, up the inside, Luca Hanover. 3 of them coming down to the line, and Angels Express digs in and fights them off to win it. Second was Luca Hanover. Third was Forrest. 202-1 for Angels Express. Starting gate now moving for the 11th. Scratch number 2, Flanagan Victory, and number 7, Ander Solo. That'll be a field of 5. Starting at the rail, Jasperson. This is an Angus Hall colt owned by Andrea Lee Racing Stables. Trainer drivers Doug Finn Henriksen. Next we move on to number 3, Muscleless Massa. Muscle Mass colt owned by Knobloch Racing Stable, TM Racing, and Len Gamble. Ted McDonnell trains, Paul McDonnell will drive. 4 is Bailey Gale Sally, Royalty for Life colt owned by Nora Parks, trained by Paul Reed. Scott Young drives. 5 Twinbee Harry, Royalty for Life colt, Daniel O'Brien, Everett Hansen. The owners, O'Brien trains and drives, $13,000 yearling buy. And number 6 is Drinks at Home, a Royalty for Life colt owned by Determination, trained by Luke Blay, Bob McClure in the bike, $47,000 yearling purchase. Starting 8 swings into the stretch. A field of 5. Trotters picking up speed, and here they come for qualifier 11. And they're off and trotting. Jasperson from the rail and Musculus Massa. Those two show early speed. Off stride after the beginning went Twinbee Harry. Here on the outside, Drinks at Home and McClure. They're just going to step right around. They're going to the front. They want control here this morning. Ballygale Sally got away in 4th, and still off stride is Twinbee Harry. Going into the first turn, and your leader is Drinks at Home for Bob McClure. Royalty for Life colt will take him to the opening quarter on top by a length and a half. 30 seconds even. So Drinks at Home serves it up as they move into the backstretch. Racing second is Jasperson, 3 lengths back then to Musculus Massa, and then 4th is Ballygale Sally, well back to Twinbee Harry. 3/8 of the mile complete. They aren't going a whole lot here in the second quarter as they follow Drinks at Home. Jasperson right on the leader's back. Then there, 2 lengths back is Musculus Massa. Couple of lengths back to Ballygale Sally, the half 1:01. So it was back down 31 seconds in the second quarter after that 30-second opener. Entering the far turn, Drinks at Home, $47,000 yearling buy. Determination, Blay, and McClure. All teaming up here as they go around the final turn. Drinks at Home, the leader. Jasperson in second. Here comes Musculus Massa on the outside now, advancing. And then it's back to Ballygale Sally. 3/4 is recorded in 1:32. So back-to-back 31-second quarters for Drinks at Home. A 1:02 middle half. Drinks at Home ready to close this one out. It's last call with 1/8 of a mile to go. And Drinks at Home leads it by 3, now 4. Musculus Massa is in second. Ballygale Sally third. And Jasperson back in 4th. Drinks at Home takes care of business this morning, winning it by a pair. Time of the mile, 2 minutes, 4/5, a 28-4 final quarter. Starting gate is rolling for the 12th qualifier. Phil Hudon will drive number 2, War of Will. Number 1, Sports Advisor, gelded son of sports writer. Rick Zeron Stables, John Donato, your owners. Rick Zeron Trains, Trevor Henry drives, $2,000 yearling purchase. 2, War of Will is a Captain Treacherous colt owned by Hutt Racing Stable and Blake McIntosh. McIntosh Trains, Phil Hudon drives, a $75,000 yearling. 3 is Rockaway Bay, a rock and roll dance colt by Clay Horner, trained by Tony O'Sullivan. Silver Philion drives. 4, Porter, a sports writer colt owned by Ozzie McKay, Jills Landry, Blake McIntosh. McIntosh Trains, Jody Jameson in the bike, $23,000 yearling. 5 is Stone Carver, a better colt owned by Robert Bridges, also the breeder. Tony Beaton Trains, Scott Young drives. 6 is Airy Shadow, a shadow play colt. Greg McNair, and Boys Stable, the owners. Greg McNair Trains, Doug McNair drives, $60,000 yearling. 7, My Money is a better than cheddar colt, a homebred from Alar Farms, trained by Nick Galucci with James McDonald. And 8, My Mickey Beach is an Always Be Mickey colt owned by Amanda Fine and Highland Thoroughbred Farm. Amanda Fine Trains, Louis Waugh drives, a $35,000 yearling. Field of 8 picking up speed, and here they come. And they're off, Van Pacing, and War of Will storms out of there. It's War of Will out to the early lead. Better Have My Money also had some good gate speed, and they're rocking here in the opening 8th as it was paced in 12 and 4. So War of Will flies out of there. Better Have My Money get in second. Third is Rockaway Bay. Then driving fourth is My Mickey Beach. A few of them wide going into the turn. Stone Carver down at the inside. Beat Reporter outside. Airy Shadow, and at the inside Sports Advisor. 27 seconds flat for the opening quarter. Huge opener there for War of Will, who is absolutely charged up, and he leads them by 3 into the backstretch. So it is War of Will, the leader. Phil Hudon will try and settle him down here now and rate him in the second quarter off that 27-second opener. Back in second, but trailing by about 3 lengths. That is Better Have My Money. Third is Rockaway Bay. Then racing in fourth is My Mickey Beach, 2.5 lengths back to Stone Carver, who is tracked by Beat Reporter. Then it is Sports Advisor and Airy Shadow, 57 and 3 for the half, 30 and 3 in the second quarter. Onto the far turn they go, and War of Will, the son of Captain Treacherous, shows the way. He points them around the final turn. Better Have My Money sitting there in second, and he showed good gate speed, and he's getting the 2-hole trip. Third is Rockaway Bay. Then in fourth is My Mickey Beach. That debuter looks ready to go. Then we go about 5 lengths back to Stone Carver, to Beat Reporter, to the outside Sports Advisor, and then your trailer as they spin for home is Airy Shadow. Off 3 quarters, 127 flat. And it is War of Will. Here is Better Have My Money shooting on by and now taking the lead. Better Have My Money strikes the front with 1/8 of a mile to go. War of Will now hands over second to Rockaway Bay. My Mickey Beach up the inside, closing well is Stone Carver. 16th to go. Deep stretch. It'll be Better Have My Money to cash in here today to win it by 4 or 5. Second was Rockaway Bay, and then third was My Mickey Beach, and fourth was Stone Carver, 155 and 2. Starting gate now moving for the 13th. Scott Young is going to drive number 9, Fox Valley Carlin. 1, Google My Chrome. Gelded Son of Better Than Cheddar, owned by Blake McIntosh, Princeton Farms. Vaco Pienin, trained by Blake McIntosh. James McDonald drives, $25,000 yearling buy. Number 2, JS Love Them Ladies. It'll be Chris Christoforou to drive for trainer Guy Gagnon. Écurie Guy Gagnon, Gestion Louis Le Tulipe, and Les Neiges. Gestion Bruno Blouin, the owners. Guy Gagnon trains. Chris Christoforou, $45,000 yearling, is that gelded son of Sports Writer. 3 is Unlaced, a shadow play gelding. Karen Olsen Burgess owns. Blair Burgess trains and drives, $6,000 yearling. 4, Sugar Daddy Controls, a Control the Moment colt, owned by Ben Moudry and Dan Legacy. Legacy trains. Sylvain Filion drives. 5 is Sports Section, a Sports Writer colt, owned by Dale Kerr. Trained by Jared Bako. Louis Waugh drives, $42,000 yearling. 6 is Golden Ticket, a Sunshine Beach gelding, owned and bred by Stephen Klunowski. Carmen Osiello trains. Jonathan Drury drives. 7 is Masked Man, a shadow play colt, owned by M&L of Delaware. Susie Kerwood, the trainer. Jody Jameson, the driver, $25,000 yearling. 8 is Gold Rush Sealster, a Better Light colt, owned by Steve Heimbecker and Bloomingwood Farms Limited. Greg McNair trains. Doug McNair drives, a $201,000 yearling buy. And Fox Valley Carlin is the 9. Michael Camiglio and William Richardson, along with Rhonda Gilmartin, are your owners. Paul Reed trains. Scott Young drives. The Art Speak colt was a $19,000 yearling. So they're off and pacing here in the 13th, and it is Golden Ticket from the center along with Sports Section as those two go out of there quickly. So too does Masked Man. Widest of them all is Gold Rush Sealster down at the inside. Google My Chrome, who will be followed by Unlaced. Settling in behind that rival is Sugar Daddy Controls, JS Love Them Ladies, and your early trailer, Fox Valley Carlin. Opening quarter was registered in 28-4, and the leader as they move into the backstretch is Golden Ticket. Golden Ticket first in line as they move up the backstretch. In second is Sports Section, followed closely third by Masked Man, who is tracked by Google My Chrome in fourth. 2 lengths then to Gold Rush Sealster in fifth. Sixth is Unlaced. Racing in seventh is Sugar Daddy Controls. Then eighth is JS Love Them Ladies, and your trailer ninth is Fox Valley Carlin. Single file here is this group of 9. Certain to see some movement here just before the half, as near the back we see a few come to the outside. The half was recorded in 59-3. 30-4 in the second quarter, courtesy of Golden Ticket, who shows the way. Golden Ticket, though, getting green on the front, and Golden Ticket had to go a little wide there, and that was a tough spot there for Sports Section in behind as Golden Ticket just sort of pulled up on the front. Inside is Masked Man, staying at the rail, Google My Chrome. Also along the cones is Gold Rush Sealster. To the outside, Sugar Daddy Controls. Unlaced outside of that rival, JS Love Them Ladies, and your trailer still Fox Valley Carlin. 3 quarters, 129-1. So Waugh and Sports Section had to deal with that traffic trouble, and now they have seized control, and they look to draw off. 129-1 was your 3 quarters, and Sports Section, despite that interference on the final turn, leads this one by nearly 5. Google My Chrome finishing up good as that striking individual has moved into second. Masked Man is in third, and then Sugar Daddy Controls will get fourth over Golden Ticket. Time of the mile, 1:56-4. Good performance from Sports Section. The 14th and final on this, now Friday afternoon here at Woodbine Mohawk Park, a field of 9 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings. One is Cobra Kai, Shanghai Phil colt, owned by Kelly Waxman, trained by Greg McNair, Doug McNair steers, a $19,000 yearling. 2 is Stu's Watching, a He's Watching colt owned by Ratchford Stable. Trainer driver is Dr. Ian Moore, $32,000 yearling. 3 is Thornbury, a sports rider colt owned by John Copas Stables, Clay Horner, and Dry Bar Stables. John Copas trains Chris Christopher in the bike, a $26,000 yearling. 4 is Final Cheese Recipe, Better Than Cheddar Gelding, owned by Kim and Dan Sargent, trained by Blake McIntosh, Jody Jameson drives. 5 is Sport Addiction, a sports rider colt owned by SNR Racing Stable, David Nickel and Stanley Zipkin, trained by Renee Dion, Silva and Filion drives, $37,000 yearling. 6 is Supervise the Moment, a Control the Moment colt, owned by Ronald Nobes and David Frey. Frey trains, Travis Cullen drives. 7, Whiskey Break is a sports rider colt, owned and bred by Bill Maines and Bill Cripps. Gerald Lilly trains, Phil Houdon drives. 8 is Noble Intentions, a gelded son of Sunshine Beach, owned and bred by Robert Burgess. Carmen Osciello trains, Jonathan Drury will steer. And to complete the field, number 9, Silk Road Smash, a gelded son of Better's Delight, owned and bred by Millar Farms, trained by Nick Gallucci. The driver is James McDonald. Field of 9 for the 14th. Starting gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. And they're off and pacing. Several levers here as Supervise the Moment, Whiskey Break, and Silk Road Smash all hustle from the center to the outside. Thornbury's into that early mix. At the rail, Cobra Kai tries to hold ground. Stu's Watching is right beside him. Then we go to Final Cheese Recipe, who will be followed into the turn by Noble Intentions, and your trailer is Sport Addiction. The leader will be Whiskey Break to the opening quarter, and it was paced in 28 and 3. So Whiskey Break will lead him into the backstretch. Supervise the Moment is in second. Silk Road Smash is third. Here on the outside comes Final Cheese Recipe, moving for Jameson. Inside fifth is Thornbury. Then we go to Cobra Kai, who is followed by Stu's Watching, Noble Intentions, and your trailer is Sport Addiction. It's a long second quarter journey here towards the top for Final Cheese Recipe, who continues to march on the outside, is now up into second, a length and a half from the good as they come to the midway point, and it was Whiskey Break there in 58 and 4, 30 and 1 in the second quarter. On to the final turn they go, and we've got plenty of action here now. 5 in, 4 out, 5/8 of the mile complete. Whiskey Break might be taking a break now because he is stopping on the front. Going by is Final Cheese Recipe. Also coming on by on the outside is Stu's Watching. Advancing Noble Intentions. Whiskey Break backing up, and that is real bad news for Supervise the Moment and Silk Road Smash. They'll finally get a chance to get to the outside and move around that stopping horse. 3/4, 129 into the stretch. And the leader became Final Cheese Recipe, trying to fight off Stu's Watching. Coming through now is Noble Intentions between rivals. On the outside, Thornbury is surging on by, and Thornbury powers to the lead with 1/8 of a mile to go. It's Thornbury on top. Here comes Sport Addiction now for Filion. That one was last in the early going, and Sport Addiction's coming on the outside and reaching up. Sport Addiction over Thornbury. Third appeared to be Stu's Watching from Supervise the Moment, 157 and 2.